Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. Hope that you're doing well here today. Before we started casting a huge amount of Flash games, which of course have been performing very, very well. You guys have really been enjoying watching Flash. The best performing player that I was regularly casting, or one of the top two at least, was Bishop. So we actually have a Bishop game here. For those of you who don't recall or are newer to the channel, Bishop has been, well, first off, compared to Flash, he has been ranked higher than Flash on the ladder non-stop since Flash came back. Flash has peaked at third highest on the ladder, and Bishop's been one of the only two players. Him and Motive have basically been the two people that have been ranked above Flash on the ladder. But Bishop plays his own style completely. Probably the best Wraith user in the world right now. And some really wild out there builds. He's been playing really, really well. So hope that you guys are excited to see a Bishop game here, and especially since it's against ZeloT, which is one of the better performing players on the channel as well. A lot of people have enjoyed ZeloT's unbelievably aggressive type plays. And in fact, him against Bishop is a really cool match to see, just because if Bishop goes for one of these teched out builds, ZeloT might be able to just kill him while he does it. And for those of you who might be wondering, oh, who else is performing really well? Jaedong generally does very, very well. So, yeah, I kind of keep track of the trends, but those seem to be the players that you guys are very excited about. Flash, I guess, would be number one, Bishop number two, and Jaedong probably number three. Anyways, here we go. We're on Citadel, and it is a hatchery first from ZeloT. He is a very aggressive player, but that doesn't mean that he is always being aggro. He does open hatch first and things. But you can see here, for instance, spawning pool and gas at the same time. So this will be like a 247 layer, something like that. So nice and fast. And as Bishop gets up there with the SCV, we're going to see him skip his second depot and just go immediately here for that command center. And of course, he did see the timing of the gas there as well. So he's going to know that that's a very, very fast layer, but not, it's not like a 12 pool layer. 12 pool layer, I mean, that thing starts at gosh, it starts so fast. It's like a completely different type of build. This is just like the fastest hatchery first that you're going to see into layer. And see that, yeah. What was that, 49? That is super fast. So anyways, looking back at Bishop's base, of course, he does have a wall in, so speedling's not really going to be any sort of issue for him. There are 6 lings being made. So that's kind of interesting. He's actually running the SCV away immediately, and this is an important moment. If it's 4 lings or it's 6 lings, it's actually quite different when you're blocking it. He's going to have to pull a couple SCVs. Yeah, and they're coming up right now. He just want to block one there and one there, and that should be enough for him here. He is trying to slow this down a little bit with his SCV blocking. But yeah, very good defense. That's kind of funny, because ZeloT making 2 at the natural is completely intentional. And the second SCV actually gets in front of everything as well. And you can see ZeloT right now trying to make something happen with this. And honestly, if you don't block that perfectly, the 6 lings can get in. That is, you can see ZeloT gives himself lots of opportunities to maybe get damage, right? So 4 in the main is pretty normal. And against 4 in the main, you're like, oh, okay, this isn't that scary. But the 2 at the natural are the sneaky ones, because he had 3 larvae here, and he could have made 6. But if you don't know that it's 6 coming, you don't react as hard as that, right? 3 Marines sitting behind the wall, maybe you can pull 1 SCV. But if it is a situation like that where it's 6, then suddenly you might die. You lose all your Marines at least, and there'll be a big advantage for Zerg. So anyways, let's take a look at where we're at. It is a very fast +1 here for Bishop, getting that Academy up as well. So very standard stuff. I would assume that he's going to go to 4 barracks here. There's no way to get 5. 5 would be he just won't be able to actually produce if he goes for 5. But more speedlings are being made. So this is the way he's making these speedlings and putting them off to the side. I actually think he He might be thinking that this is going to be a little move out, like a two racks academy. Notice how he leaves a smaller group here that you expect to see, and the other group is here. So that will either be a counterattack or a flank. But the thing is, he's not playing against 2 racks academy. So the move out probably won't happen. There's a small chance that these units start to move out. And also, I just heard a scan there. Oops. Well, I guess I actually missed. I was a little bit too slow on that. Sorry. But he's spread the drones. Okay, so normally what happens if you only use 1 scan, it's at the natural. Very oftentimes. So sometimes you can send drones from here down to here if you're very low on drones to throw off your opponent as to how many lings you have. So there's like a lot of things going on right now. And yeah, his secondary scan was the main. So now he knows there's actually a lot of lings. The first scan did go here, and there was enough drones that you don't know about the amount of lings. Now, the mutas are coming out. The Bioforce starts to push back. And this isn't too surprising. Because he saw the drone counts, he's going to pretty much know that the reason why the depots are being picked on is because there's a bunch of Zerglings out there. There just wasn't enough drones in ZeloT's base to not have a ton of Zerglings right now. So this is like an attempt to open up a path for his Zerglings to get in and do some damage. Now the Muta's flying in. I mean, this is a very solid amount of turrets. There is no bunker as of yet, and only 1 turret here, 1 turret here. The depot's starting to fall. The barracks going back to land. 2 turrets there in the main base, and yeah, I guess he actually already has the range upgrade, which is really important. The +1 going to be finishing. If he comes out too far, man, these things will come in and ruin his day. 8 mutas right now, so not quite enough. I think he's gonna try to keep baiting them out like this. If he gets the full group and hits with these lings... Okay, here we go. He's coming in for this flank. I'm surprised Bishop actually moved out this far. This likely will result in him losing the bio. But he kills the lings pretty quickly. That +1 shouldn't be underestimated. And ZeloT actually does have to pull back with those mutas. 10 mutas pulling back and brings up that 11th. Getting some real damage done, though. 4 racks Marines going to be a pretty good counter to what's going on, unfortunately, for ZeloT. Now, +1 armor is coming up. There is no 3rd base, of course, for ZeloT because he has purchased so many units at this point. He's really pretty all in with this super aggressive play. Goes after those missile turrets and actually does end up getting them. This is still highly, highly dangerous right now for Bishop. You can see that the mutas are still gaining value. More mutas flying down. Look at this. Tagging out the very hurt ones right now to come back and harass more. If he can stay on top of the barracks, that is gigantic. Goes after the turrets in the main base and, in fact, going to dive upon them, kill them off. No turrets down here. Bishop splitting his Marines really well to try to counter this. Of course, the mutas can still be microed insanely well down here. And he definitely is getting some value, right? Like, he's killing SCVs, he's killing Marines, but again, no additional base at home while Bishop is teching up towards Valkyries. You can see the drone count still incredibly low here, only 18 drones being worked with. Gets up to a full group here once again. Some of those very hurt mutas being tagged back in as he is trying to regain his drone count a little bit. Does feel like Bishop has maybe broken the back of this aggression from ZeloT. It was actually very, very close to ZeloT breaking through between all the turret kills and the Marine reduction. But that +1 turning out to be very, very good against the Mutiling, right? That's kind of why people go +1 rushes, to be able to parry mass amounts of mutas and Zerglings. And, you know, that one engagement we had right there, very, very important in this game. The muta's being pushed back a bit. Little Zergling counterattack on the turrets, not a bad idea. If you hadn't had these Marines right nearby, if you kill 2 turrets here, the mutas then rotate over here and start doing a lot of damage as well. Now, the mutas are still getting a little bit done, but the economy is good enough for Bishop that he can produce the Marines and the missile turrets at the same time. He has a Valkyrie on the way. When the Valkyrie pops out, that might actually trigger the GG. Because if you get the Valkyrie out and you don't, ZeloT doesn't kill it right away, there's just no coming back. If you look at the minimap, you can see there's just no bases here for ZeloT other than his initial 2. So he just isn't going to have any sort of economy to deal with Marine Medic Science Vessels, especially with these 1/1 upgrades. The mutas, you can see, having such a hard time reducing that Marine count any further. He is reducing it further, though. And there is that Valkyrie, and he dives on it, and it lives. He just doesn't have the damage output that he needs right here. Yeah, I think that's just it. There's just really nothing else going on. Maybe he tries one more dive with the Marines as well. The Marine count is very, very low, but there's like more than enough medics to block and heal. And the turret count is still very, very high here. Valkyrie going to deal with these mutas. The Marines are going to try to get up and stop these Zerglings. Nice little drill there to stop those. GG is called. And a nice aggressive game there from ZeloT. Really tried his different tactics. And, you know, I say it oftentimes. I'm going to say it again. ZeloT really is what happens when you have a ladder Zerg become one of the best in the world. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this little foray away from Flash. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.